Ever since the Niners traded up to draft Trey Lance, the writing's been on the wall for Jimmy Garoppolo. Trey Lance is the future in San Francisco, and the future is now. And that became evident after Garoppolo was granted permission to seek a trade earlier this month. If that wasn't enough, Kyle Shanahan yesterday said that Lance is ready to take over the team. Here's Kyle Shanahan.
I think all three of us are very much on the same page. Jimmy understands where we're at. We understand where we're at. Like, I can't tell you how appreciative I have been of Jimmy and him being here, and so appreciative of what he did for us last year. I think Jimmy, and we knew what move we made the year before on that. Jimmy did a hell of a job coming to camp and winning that job and taking us real close to the Super Bowl. But we have moved on to Trey. We're starting camp out this way. We think Jimmy would have been traded if the surgery didn't happen, and it did. He needed to do it, so there's no ill will there at all. But it's good to see that he is healthy. But now it's all just seeing how this will end up.
The Niners have a Super Bowl caliber roster. Their over-under, according to DraftKings, is 10 wins. This team has consistently stayed a contender with Garoppolo at the helm. Lance looked overwhelmed in limited action last year, but obviously there's room for growth there. He's only 22. He has the physical abilities. The scouts love this. That's why the Niners traded up to get him. But young quarterbacks trying to progress in this league, having sat out basically for a year. And if you go back in the totality of the last, 4 years, Trey Lance hasn't played much football. He played one great year at North Dakota State, and that was 2019. And then he had one game during COVID, and that was sort of an exhibition game, and that's it. And that's why his nickname was One Play Trey. He had one great play with the Niners. But is that enough to go, hey, we've seen enough? Jimmy Garoppolo, to me, is a great backup plan and an insurance policy, and I would have kept him. Now, it's not my money that I'm spending. It's $30 million, but I got to make sure that I have Jimmy Garoppolo through camp. That's all, because let's say something happens. Let's say something happens to Matthew Stafford. Then all of a sudden, the value for Jimmy Garoppolo goes up. I want to hold on to him. Now, you're saying go out, find a trade partner, and then come back and let us know what you find. I just want to make sure we get as much value for Jimmy Garoppolo as possible. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback, but I do think he's a good quarterback to have.
Getting emotional over this.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. Take your time. Take your time.
You and Jimmy G have always been tight.
Get emotional about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Feel like Jimmy G, my son. A lot of similarities in how we look.
Garoppolo.
I'm okay. Don't worry about me. But, hey, look, they traded up for Trey Lance, and they're going to give him center stage here. I just think you got to have a backup plan, and backup plan would be Jimmy Garoppolo. Hold on as long as you can, because let's say Trey Lance struggles a little bit. Let's say he gets banged up a little bit. Jimmy Garoppolo is nice to have as an insurance policy, but it feels like they'll hold on as long as they can, see if anything happens during training camp, preseason, and then maybe somebody's interested in Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know if the value goes down if there are no injuries, that nobody is going to be asking for Jimmy Garoppolo. Then what are you going to get? Because it felt like earlier in the summer, the Niners were looking for 2 second-round picks, and I was told they'll be lucky to get 1 second-round pick. But I don't know who's going to be desperate enough to go, hey, we got to get Jimmy Garoppolo. But let's say Buffalo, something happens to Josh Allen. I mean, you could go down the list here of teams where you go, if something happened to Dak Prescott. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is there with experience, having played on 2 very good teams, the Niners and the Patriots. But Kyle Shanahan said all the things you're supposed to say yesterday, and maybe some nice parting gifts for him.